Good.
Learning more things. Oh, I've got a confession to make. Because I had the migraine problem, so I looked into it. It's kind of connected to my childhood, but it's also to do with my comfort eating. And because I can't wait for the online workshop, I got in touch with Christina, because she's only 15 minutes away from me.
Fantastic. Yes, that's wonderful.
This village.
Wonderful.
So on Wednesday, I had an hour quick session to overcome the comfort eating or emotional.
Fantastic. And was it helpful? Was it good?
Yeah, it was. It was really good. Yeah.
That's great. Well done. Well done for taking that action, Tamina. I'm so glad it was.
I didn't want to, you know. It was like an hour before the actual session to start, which was going to be at 4 o'clock here, 10 o'clock time. And I thought, no, I don't want to do this. And I realized, no, the things that I don't want to do, I need to do. So, okay, I'm going to do this anyway.
Good job.
Yeah.
Well done. Well done. And that's the same, you know, with physical exercise. You know, anybody who's ever tried to get fit, there are times when you don't, even once you're fit, there are times you don't feel like working out. And the same with other skills, you know, like practicing a musical instrument and that kind of thing. There are always times when you don't feel like doing what needs to be done. And that I think it's important to be sensitive to that and be kind to yourself. So I used to be the other extreme. So I would force myself to do things. So, and that's not good either. I discovered. So it's about gently doing it anyway. And of course, listening.
I did feel proud. I did feel proud afterwards. Like,
good.
You know what? I actually feel proud. That was a really good thing to do. It was a bit daunting because I've never had to address the comfort eating.
Right. Yeah.
But like we talked in the other session on, I think it was Wednesday or Tuesday. Yeah, it was Tuesday. It is to do with my childhood.
Yes.
But with Tina, she likes to call herself Tina because she's European, isn't it, by origin?
I'm not sure which Christine are you referring to?
No, her full name is Christina Biade. Oh gosh. Oh my God! What? Yeah, you got the online workshop on the 25th of May with her.
Oh, that Tina. When you said Christina, I was thinking of Christina who comes to this here. No. I see Tina. Yes, the hypnotherapist that's going to be doing the workshop with us on May 16th.
I couldn't wait for the 25th of May, so I contacted her. And while you guys were having the online session at 4 o'clock England time, I was having the hypnotherapy session with her.
Fantastic. And you were there in person. Okay, I got it now. Fantastic.
It's amazing because when I looked up on the workshop advert on Facebook and it said about Oxford fires.
Yes.
And it gave me a clue, like, oh, okay, I remember Oxford fires. So I Googled it and I thought, wow, she only lives just like in the next town.
Fantastic. That's wonderful. Good job. And thank you for sharing that. Excellent. All right, then. So let's get started. So I'm going to mute everyone. All right. So welcome back, everybody. It's lovely to see you all back again. And hope you had a good 24 hours. Let's go into the superpower exercise first, into the superpower state first, and then I'll check in with everybody. All right, so take a deep breath, close your eyes, and go into your superpower state, however you do that. So either by repeating your word or phrase, or by imagining hugging your subject. And focus in on the feeling in your chest and expand your heart. Feel that expansion And now imagine that expansion as a ball of light or energy shining out from your heart. This is your power. Now imagine it spreading down to your toes, up to the top of your head, out to your fingertips. So you're now full of that light, that energy, that power. Now allow that light or energy to fill each of the 50 trillion cells that make up your body. Love each cell just for existing. Very good. And now think of the little you and fill that little you with that same light, that energy, that love. Love that little you no matter what. Very good. And now let's go back to your subject. So imagine that light or energy filling your subject. Love them just for existing. And now imagine that subject wanting to get away from you or feeling miserable, rejecting you in some way, and keep them filled with that light, that energy, that love, shining that light into darkness. Love them anyway. Good job. And now fill everyone in this group with that same light, that energy. Fill the whole group. Those who are on camera, those who are off camera, fill everyone with that light, that energy. Love everyone just for existing. Very, very good. All right, you can open your eyes. Good job. Okay, so going to check in with each person. So I've had an email from Kathy just to say she's not able to make today, but she hopes to be back on Monday. So we will start with Katrina's at the top of the screen today. Hi, Katrina.
Hi, Odille.
How are you today?
Yes, I think I'm good. Yes. Not a lot is happening. I just want to make reference to the me on the horse.
Yes.
That I would like to. I see her as brave.
Good.
And I want to be as brave as the little Katrina was.
Very, very good. And of course, because she is a part of you, you already have that bravery in you. It's just a case of recognizing it and allowing it. So that's perfect. Very, very good. Good job, Katrina. I'm so proud of you. Good job. All right. And then going over to Caro. Oh, clicked something by accident. There you go. Caro. Yes, you're on my screen. How are you today?
I'm good. Yeah.
Very good. Any questions or targets for today?
I don't have any questions, but I find that after everyone shares, sometimes questions will pop up. So, and what was the other question?
Oh, that was it. Any questions or targets? If you have any targets.
Targets, yes. I have to move by August, and I have no plan.
Okay.
So that would be my target, that I have the perfect plan in the perfect timing.
Very good. All right. So Steve, are you able to make a note of that? Thank you. Sometimes I'm not sure if you're if you're making a note of what's just been said or if you're answering someone else in chat. So making sure. Thank you, Caro. Very good. Good job. All right. And Tamina, hello. How are you today?
I'm loads better. Oh my God, I am loads better.
Oh, good.
I know, yeah. And funny enough, my daughter messaged me yesterday because she was kind of freaking out about the situation going on with the ex-boyfriend. and about her current situation with a new boyfriend and things like that. And I actually helped her by showing her about the superpower.
Good job. Oh, excellent. And how is that for her?
Yeah, I went through it with her today, and I said, that's all you have to do. You know, the love, the light, filling yourself up. And then she realized that as long as she's doing the love and light, filling herself up, and then I don't know why, but she instantly, I said, okay, what are you going to do about the reactions of your current partner, about the ex-boyfriend? And she said, I want to send him the love and the light and fill himself up. She said it on her own.
Very, very good.
I know. So the word's spreading.
Fantastic. That's so exciting. And I'm so excited for you and for her. That's wonderful. Thank you, Tamina.
Okay.
And
one quick question. During the meditation of doing the superpower, when you say fill your subject, what exactly do you mean?
Okay, so let's say for me, my subject is my son as a baby. So when you know, with the beginner's exercise, you imagine holding something in your arm. So that would be mine. So now when I get into that superpower state, I would fill my son, I would imagine that light or energy filling my son as a baby with that same light, that energy, loving him exactly as he is, just for existing. And then I would see him pushing me away or trying to get away or feeling, you know, being sulky or whatever, and I would maintain that state. I would keep him filled with that love, that light, that energy, no matter what he does. Does that help to explain?
Okay, yeah. So with me, I'm filling myself up. You know, like you fill a glass of water or a jug, you're filling yourself up. I feel when I'm filling myself up with this beautiful light and love, it's like as if I'm feeling whole and complete.
Good.
And a sense of detachment of whatever outcome may be of people's reactions or whatever I think they should be doing. And it's like, it doesn't matter. I don't feel threatened. I don't feel hostility or isolated, as long as I'm filling myself up with that love and light and feeling that strong, it's getting stronger, but a sense of self, a completion.
Yes, that is perfect and spot on. Yes,
Okay,
that's exactly what it is.
Well
done. Good job. That is exactly what it is. Because that is who we are.
Yeah.
That's the real us. So that's perfect, Tamina. And thank you for sharing that in that way as well, because it may help others to just clarify. Fantastic. And well done, you. Good job.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And Boguslawa, good morning. How are you today?
Good morning. I am very good today.
Good.
I think I have a good news. Yesterday I had so many things to do, but at night I make another letter, but was a little bit different letter. Was from me as I am today to my mother, because I always want to tell her what I was thinking. Like, this bothers me for years and years, and she never wanted to talk about it.
Yes.
So I say, I'm going to do this way now.
Good.
Did the letter, and I woke up kind of fresher today. Feels much better. And I was working on the superpower, and I feel very strong superpower today.
Fantastic.
And I was working on my memory, which I was talking yesterday about the skates.
Yes.
And I could change it, and I start to feel completely different, so easy, and everything is like awesome.
Yay.
And I can just give you example, like I was struggling, like a simple example, like I was buying a water, like sparkling water, which I love it.
Yeah.
And in the Polish store, the Polish water, which never was good and kind of fresh, and was like, I was struggling for years. I'm 30 years in Canada. 2 days ago, I bought Club soda, Canadian one, American, whatever. And you know, it was so easy. Like, why I was struggling with this stupid Polish water, which was no good, and I was like, was heavy, and everything was bringing home. And this was like so easy and such a delicious water. For years I was struggling, and it's such an easy thing. Like I couldn't figure out just now. I think the memory, whatever I came up, this helps me in all the work I was doing. So I changed the memory. I have to work more on this because it's coming back, the blunt scales, but more the sharp one. It's like I gonna see what's gonna go, like how it's gonna be in the few days. Like I don't know. I feel really, really good today about all this stuff. So
good job. Well done, Boguslawa. I'm so proud of you.
Hopefully it's gonna change something. I don't know. I'm gonna observe now.
Yes. And so remember that like physical exercise, observe it over the next few days, but keep it up, of course. So so you keep doing what you've been doing, practicing the exercises, making sure that you're practicing those new memories really strongly and that kind of thing. So keep doing the work to make sure that and there may be ups and downs, just like with physical exercise, but keep moving forward. I'm so excited for you. That is wonderful. Good job, you.
Yeah, and I would like to target today one thing. Like, I really don't like to exercise, which I supposed to. I do sometimes. I make breaks, like 2-3 days. I go back. Like, really, I struggle with this.
Right.
So I would like to that my target today for like to motivate me to do the exercise, because I know they are good, but it's like, oh, I just don't want to do it.
Yes, and you're not alone. So we'll add that to the target list. And in addition to that, something that I found for me was bearing in mind wherever you're putting your focus, wherever you're looking, determines which direction you're going in. I found that if I thought about the option of not exercising, in other words, I thought, I need to get on with these things and I want to do this and I don't want to, then it was much more difficult to get myself to go out. But if I only thought about going and getting back, so after it, so what am I going to do after I've exercised? And for me, one of my favorite things about a workout is the shower afterwards. That feeling of getting into the shower and knowing it's all done, and then perhaps having a cup of coffee, that kind of thing. So think of what's going to happen after it. And then you're looking to where you want to end up and not at the, so it's such a hassle. I don't feel like it. I would rather, So that, number one. And the second thing was similar to what I said to you in the session yesterday, is an audiobook. So I have an audiobook that I've had different ones, but I always have an audiobook that I only listen to when I'm exercising, when I'm doing a workout, when the gym was open, or when I'm walking or running. So I only ever listen to it while I'm exercising, and that's what I think about when I'm going to exercise. So I think, oh yes, I'm going to listen to that book. I can't wait to hear what happens next. Mm-hmm. Right? And
usually, when I exercise, I am putting some CD and some whatever is there, like dancing or Zumba, because I like to move. I don't like to just do exercise.
Yes.
And I don't listen any other thing, just
so that's okay.
YouTube. Yeah.
Yes, so that's okay. So pick pick music that you absolutely love and only listen to it when you're working out, so that you can look forward to it. So, and then when you think of doing the exercises, don't think of the exercises, think of the music. Start thinking of the music first. And as you start doing that, because physiologically in your brain, as you start thinking of the music, those connections in your neocortex are going to produce feel-good chemicals. The feel-good chemicals you have when you listen to the music, and then you'll feel more motivated, more energized, and more likely to do the exercise.
I don't know.
Give it a go. Do it as an experiment and see what happens. Just try it.
Yeah,
if it doesn't work, you can try something else, but have a go at that. So pick what's your favorite music?
Well, like I wanted to say, like, you know, I love Tina Turner, and I was thinking to just dance the Proud Mary, how she sing and
Yes.
dance, because that's a really
Yeah.
exhausting dance, what she does, amazing. But you see, I'm pushing this and pushing and pushing, and like I say, afterwards I'm gonna do this and this. So I push the exercise and I doing what I want to do.
Right.
It's like, I don't know.
So what you want to do is, rather than pushing, and I'm not sure what you mean by pushing, but rather than forcing yourself to do it, you want to look forward to it. Don't do it until you are excited to do it.
Okay.
So think about Tina Turner, think about Proud Mary, hum it in your mind, and and allow yourself to get excited. Allow yourself to feel the feeling and imagine yourself doing the dance. And eventually, when you've got that, like, I gotta do it now, then you do it.
Okay.
So, and that goes for everybody. When it comes to physical exercise, allow it to come from inspiration, excitement, fun. But what allows that is what you're thinking about. So if you think about physical exercise as, oh, I don't feel like it, and I'm so tired, and I got to do that, then those are the chemicals you're producing, and then it makes it much harder. But if you allow yourself to, while you're doing other things, maybe you're watching TV, maybe you're, you know, having a cup of coffee, whatever you're doing, just allow your mind to think about how much fun that can be. Feel the energy, because we are naturally designed to move. You know, humans, we're designed to be, you know, and we feel good when it's coming from that kind of place. So get that place first, get into that state first, until you can't help yourself.
Okay.
All right. Hope that helps. Very good. All right. So going on to Cheryl. Hi, Cheryl.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
Good. I just want to say that Boguslawa just like lifted me up. It's so nice to see her. I feel like all of you guys are just like, it feels so good in the room, but you know, so much positive energy. So good for us.
Exactly.
So that being said, so I, yesterday I got a bunch of FaceTime calls from all my little preschool class students. It was weird that it was weird that it was all in one day. I got like 5 children.
Wow.
Yeah. And so what happened was, it was so great to see them, and I hadn't seen them in a while because I had gone from part-time because I was taking care of Mike, and then I stopped working in January, so I haven't really seen them since January. And then when I was going to go back to work is when literally that day the school closed. Mm-hmm. So I was feeling a little bit sad, and I really realized how much I missed them. And then there was also the one of the little girls, well, they all kept asking about my husband, so that was hard. And one of the little girls just kept asking and asking, and you know, their parents are sitting right there, but they just weren't intervening. So that was hard. You know, at one point I was just like, well, you know, he passed away, you know, he died. And then she was like, is he at the doctor? And so, you know, the innocence of the little kids. So it just sort of like brought everything kind of to the surface again, like, geez. So today I would like a little help moving forward, because I feel like that I'm a little bit stuck.
Yeah.
So, and also I want to help my kids too, you know,
yes.
to move forward, but
absolutely.
So that's it. But other than that, it was great to see the kids, you know, it was really nice.
Of course. Very good. Thank you, Cheryl. And so Steve, if you're okay to add that. And then in the meantime, so we will aim at it, but in addition to that, there's a few things here. So the first thing, and we won't go into it now, but just to give you a direction, is if you ask yourself, what's the worst thing about losing your husband? what's the worst thing around it, how does that feel, and where in your childhood you felt it. Because again, even grief and loss is based on the references you have from childhood. So, and it'll be different for different people. So obviously when you lose someone, there's a human thing of grieving. That's normal, that's natural, and that is, it's just part of life. But what makes a difference is how long it lasts and how much it's interfering with your life. So, and how intense it is. So those things are down to references and where you're putting your focus, what you're thinking about. Now, I've lost a couple of people, and my mum just last February, and I was so grateful I know what I know now, because the previous time when someone was killed in an accident, unexpectedly, completely, it was a shock. I just could not stop thinking about it. I could not stop thinking about the details that I imagined. I mean, I didn't actually know many details, but so, and I didn't know at that time about everything I know now. So when my mum died, I had this, of course, what we do, and of course I cried. I felt that. But what I was able to do was I was able to keep getting back into the superpower state, and the focus, the end goal, is to replace all of the negative feelings, all of the missing, the longing, the regret, all negative feelings with love and appreciation. That's the end result. So every time you start thinking about the negative thing, bring it back to the positive. But changing those childhood memories will change your automatic reaction. Does that make sense?
So I have to think about how I feel and how that, I feel that we did a very nice, for the last year and a half, we've taken good care of him. So I feel very good about that.
That's good.
But So
what you want to home in on is what's the problem? Because as far as your subconscious is concerned, he could be in the next room. So what is it about his illness or his death or the fact that he's not there? What is the worst thing about it? And then how does that feel? And then where in your childhood did you feel the same feeling? And remember, it may not be the same topic. So it may not be to do with losing someone or illness or anything. It may be something else, but it will be the same feeling.
Okay.
Does
Thank
that
you.
help? You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And let us know if you need help. All right. And then we've got, that's everybody, yes, on camera who's talking out loud. And then we have Lisa. Lisa says, I keep sending love to everyone. It feels really good. I love being in a child state. I practice throughout the day. Fantastic, Lisa. I'm so thrilled to hear that. That's wonderful. Someone who's off camera says, could we target food today? Could you talk a little bit about food like carbs, our emotions, and how we can use the superpower to deal with childhood memories that are roots for liking carbs, please? It seems like with the COVID, everyone is eating bread. How can we use childhood memories and the superpower to resolve this? A really good question. And I think probably there's a lot of people experiencing similar things at the moment. So so there's several parts to that question. So first of all, yes, we'll add it to the target list. So food like carbs. Now, whatever you're eating, whether it's carbs or sugar or healthy food or it doesn't matter what you're, it does matter, but what I mean is the most important thing is how you're feeling about it, because the food will have a certain impact on your body. Of course, that's normal. But what has a bigger impact, and I'm going to tell you why it's a bigger impact on your body, is your emotional state. And the reason for that is because, of course, as we know, the emotional state is a chemical state, and that determines how the food is processed. So your chemical state determines whether your body is burning fat or storing it. It determines whether you are how your cells are reacting, whether they're absorbing nutrients or they're not. So your chemical state is what determines how your body is processing whatever you do eat and drink. So you could be eating as healthily as you like. You could be eating no carbs and only salads and fruit and or whatever you think is the healthiest food to eat. You could be eating just that. And if you're stressed, your cells won't be taking in the nutrients anyway. So keeping those negative emotions, keeping your body in a state of feel good is what will make the most of whatever you do eat. Now, so as far as actual carbs go, I'm not a nutritionist, so I take everything I say with a pinch of salt, pardon the pun. But I really, I don't know enough about it to be able to give advice on it. Just my own experience is that as far as I'm concerned, everybody's body is different. And different things are going to affect your body differently. So I would say my advice is get advice from a professional nutritionist. So in fact, Sheila Peterson, who we did our last 2 workshops with, I highly recommend her. She does know what she's talking about, so you could contact her. And in addition to that, to just realize that top priority is how you're feeling, your emotional state. And then secondly, check with your own personal body how it's impacted. So I know a lot of people find bread is an issue. I eat bread and it doesn't really seem to make much difference whether I'm eating bread or not. It doesn't seem to have a huge impact on me. So it'll depend on that. And then of course there's different types of bread, so I know in America, when I first moved here, I was like, I can't believe that you can't get bread without sugar in it. That was bizarre to me. And so when I started then buying bread that doesn't have sugar in it, of course, I don't like the sweetness, so I'm happy with that. And it doesn't seem to have an impact. What does have an impact, however, for me, is when I eat. So I do the intermittent fasting, because for me that seems to make a difference. So that's my advice, is rather than getting hung up on am I eating carbs and am I not eating carbs, make sure you're focusing on your emotional state first, which is your chemical state, and that's going to also affect your cravings. That's going to affect whether you want to eat something that's not good for you or not. So I hope that helps. Then the next level of that, which is what you've asked about, the childhood memories. And yes, absolutely. So there is, of course, like everything else, you have references for different types of foods, different tastes, different, the quality, if it's crunchy or salty or sweet or whatever. And the way to look for that is to say, what is it about this? So if there's a food that you don't want to eat, you've decided it's not good for me and I don't want to eat it, or it affects me badly, then ask yourself what it is about that food you like. So when you find it difficult to resist, think about, okay, so what is it about this? Because I could have a carrot. So what's the difference? What is it about this particular thing that I like? So it may be that it's the sweetness, it's the lemony flavor, it's the chocolate flavor, whatever it is. When you find that, then ask yourself, think back to any good childhood memories with that, with the salty or the sweet or the soft or the crunchy or the whatever that is that you like about this thing. And then go to those and change those memories by taking out the food and replacing it with something else. So for example, if let's say you have a lovely memory of you and your grandparents, and your grandparents would always have sweets for you. They'd always have these bags of sweets for you. And so what you've got there is you've got the sweets, you've got you, and you've got your grandparents, and you've got the love. So what you want to do is home right in on the love, zoom in on the love, the connection between you, look at their faces, feel the cuddles, all of that, and then take the food out. So you take the sweets out, or if you're in America, candy, and then and replace it with games, hobbies, dancing, water fights, whatever would be fun. Replace the food with that. So it doesn't need to be replace it with some other food, just replace it with something that's lovely. So you can replace it with something like glasses of iced water with the ice tinkling in it. So I've used that quite a lot, where I've taken out the thing that's not good and put in glasses of iced water. So I hope that helps. That's how to use childhood memories to make a difference to food. Cara?
There's also belief, and I actually have that, and I haven't totally resolved it yet, but I was really sick about 20 years ago and got diagnosed as having candida. And so I went on a diet with no carbs, you know,
Right.
no sugar, no simple carbs. And I was on that for years and years, and I'm still partially on it. I still get a reaction from sugar. So I tried going back and changing the diagnosis, like seeing the paper and seeing it as different. And
Right.
do you have any other suggestions for
Yes, I do. And so the first suggestion would be childhood. So because remember, so if your diagnosis was as an adult and you did all of that as an adult, that's there, but it's not the original reference. So you want to go to your childhood. So there's a couple of possibilities. So you could ask yourself, what's the worst thing about it? What's the worst thing about the symptoms? Or so physical symptoms, or what's the worst thing mentally and emotionally? So do a little bit of detective work on that. How does it feel? And then where in your childhood did you have the same feeling? It may have nothing to do with illness even. It could be something completely different, but it will be the same feeling. So that's where I would start. And then, of course, as you said, beliefs. Look in your childhood if there's any beliefs around sugar or carbs or anything like that. There may or may not be. But if there is, you can change those, because the truth is what you wanted, I think what the aim is, and it's certainly my, how I live, is the aim is to not be at the mercy of anything else. In other words, I can eat it, I don't need to eat it, it doesn't matter. So, for people who, like people who say sugar or bread or that, and I made a point of changing my memories so that I know that if somebody hands me a cake, I can eat it, and if I want to, and it's not going to have a huge impact. And at the same time, if someone hands me a cake and I don't want to eat it, I don't feel I need to eat. So that you want to be in a state where you can have it, you don't have it, it doesn't matter, and that you're not, of course, so Steve made me this wonderful cake for my birthday. This lovely chocolate cake was delicious. But now in the past, there is no way that cake would still be alive. I mean, I would have completely annihilated it at least 2 days. I mean, it wasn't a big cake, but still. But half of it is in the freezer in slices, and I haven't had a slice for a while. So it's because I don't have that, like I've got to have it now. Occasionally I'll think, it'd be nice to have a slice of cake with coffee or with tea. And so that's your aim, is to get to the point where you're no longer at the mercy of anything. So yeah, going to your childhood and changing those memories. And sorry, Cara, I went through that whole explanation because as I was saying it, I realized that some people may think, but sugar's bad for you and you shouldn't change the memories that say sugar's bad for you. So that's why I was explaining all of that.
Okay, and so a little more about that. Most of us, I think, were brought up with a lot of sugar, like on Halloween, on Christmas, on birthdays. So I'm just thinking maybe we can take all of those memories and put them together rather than having to, obviously we don't want to go through every Halloween of our life.
Absolutely, yes. Put them all together and replace with love, affection, and fun. And you could just set it that every time you had sweets or cake or whatever, it was this fun, it was this, swimming or trampoline or whatever. Absolutely, you can do that, yes.
Odile, I just want to add a little addendum to the belief thing. My own experience is growing up in a family where we had these proclaimed family traits. You know, it's like, oh, you got the bad stomach from, oh, that's from your dad's side of the family. And it just goes, it's like, so your subconscious ends up knowing that I came from a long line of people with bad stomachs.
Yeah.
So it's like, then we're picking up that information. And I think the subconscious is a very loyal and obedient servant, and it just gets on board with what we're telling it, what it hears. So I know that part of my work has over the years has been changing up those beliefs so that I now come from a family, with cast iron stomachs. We can eat anything we want.
So you change the beliefs by changing the memories.
Right. And the reason for that is because beliefs have proof. The memories prove the beliefs. So that's why if you just try and change a belief, if your subconscious doesn't consider it important enough, you can do it. But if your subconscious contains proof that's important, then you could try and change the belief as much as you like, but your subconscious is still going, yeah, but here's proof of it. Here's proof of it. And that's the childhood memories.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Oh, totally.
Good.
Thank
Very
you.
good. Thank you, Cara. That's all right. You're good. All right. And so that's, I think I answered that. So, and then there's compliments for Boguslawa. And someone says, also compliments to the ladies on this call, looking fresh and happy. Very good. Yes, it's a beautiful gallery today.
I'll work on my fresh and happy.
All right. And someone says, hello, everyone. I'm glad to be here. Can I add a target? Oh, yes, of course. I also need to move out this summer, and I have no plan and no clue how I'll be able to do it. Yes, very good. So we'll aim at that. And just on the planning thing, and that remember to use the touchstone, which means once you've moved, so once the thing is done and you're happy with, and it all went perfectly, how will it feel and what will you say or do? So you might go, yes, I did it, or oh, thank you so much that it all worked out perfectly, and keep your focus on that moment. Don't worry about the hows for now. So focus on that moment first, because that's your end destination. The move actually isn't your end destination. Your end destination is, yes, I did it, or thank you, that's perfect, whatever that exclamation is at the end. And then allow yourself to keep redirecting to that and focusing on feeling good, of course, practicing Superpower and changing any childhood memories that get in the way. And what will happen is you will start to be able to plan. So like with the physical exercise we were talking about earlier, about getting into the state where you feel excited to do it and you can't wait to do it, the same goes with anything we do. So including making plans for something. So planning a move, planning a business, whatever it is, you want to get to the point where you're feeling good and you automatically start planning rather than trying to make yourself. I hope that makes sense and helps. All right. And then I have the same thing. And what helps me is some music that gets me moving, or a structured workout on YouTube, but short, like 15 minutes. Yes. Doing, especially one of the things I do as well is give yourself less time than you think you will do it for. So if you think you'll exercise for half an hour, give yourself only 20 minutes, but make sure that you're enjoying it. So you've got the fun music and that. So leave yourself wanting more so that the next time you really want to, and do that until you're able to increase that. And that helps as well. It's starting with 10 minutes, and building it up, a minute a day or 5 minutes a day, add on. There's a walking exercise on YouTube by a New York lady that's worth looking into. Thank you, Tamina, for sharing that. So you can search for that. I love that, being in the feeling of the outcome, working out and doing self-care afterwards. Yes, perfect. Thank you, Lisa. And next, Cheryl Boguslawa should change her name on here to Tina Turner. Yes, I like that. You're amazing, Boguslawa. Your energy is so great this morning. Wonderful. Caro says, my internet is a bit slow, so I'll share my story here. I shared the story yesterday during the inner circle. Oh, so Steve pointed out that we were talking about the inner circle, and people may not know what that is. So the inner circle is a monthly group session that we do with our one-to-one clients, people who've worked with us one-to-one. The inner circle. So my mum has been single for more than 20 years, and recently she has met someone. Never in a million years I'd think that possible, because she's home all the time. Anyway, the funny thing is, it happened after I changed a lot of childhood memories. Isn't that fantastic? That's wonderful. Good job, Caro, and thank you for sharing that, because that's inspirational and encouraging for others as well. So I know that there are people, and in fact, somebody posted on a comment on Facebook this morning that they are wanting to meet someone, and someone who's perfect for them, and that, but with the quarantine and all of that, but it goes the same with everything. Just because you can't see how doesn't mean it can't happen. You got to keep your focus on the end result and staying in a good state, and of course changing those childhood memories, and then let the how happen on its own. And I mean, I would never have imagined meeting Steve. I couldn't have imagined someone like him exists, and I couldn't have seen it coming. So, from where I was in Gloucester, I wouldn't have been able to imagine living here. Sorry, Boguslawa, did you want to say something?
Yeah, because you always mention that whatever you did, you change memories and you go through the list, and whatever was bothering you there, you change. So, and that's why you meet Steve. What about Steve? What he did? Just was waiting for you?
He had no choice. No, he was actually doing, Steve, did you want to share a little bit about what you did with the law of attraction, the imagining?
Yeah, I did basically what Odille is talking about with the touchstone. So it's like I got rid of the details. I didn't so much have a list as I just went to the feeling of what's this going to feel like to be in a relationship like that, so it's more of just practicing the feeling. And the one physical thing that I did that sort of gave me the air of, or the excitement of being in a relationship, was I went out and bought 2 brand new place settings for my table. So instead of coming out to my dining room and seeing this empty table, I set the table as if I was having a guest. So I just got into that feeling. I don't know who she is, but she's going to show up someday soon.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it was amazing, because we were, then I've got the memory of us actually sitting there and, at the place setting and that kind of thing. So it's just, yeah, it's a fun story.
That was really, and Steve also told me, you also mentioned that he used to go to bed at night sending love to whoever it was. He didn't know who I was, but he was sending love to whoever she is out there.
So you both were working on that. Beautiful. Wow,
yeah,
that's amazing.
Without knowing it. And then when I did arrive at his home, and he served, we had lunch together and used that crockery. I didn't know, of course, until later. He only told me that he bought that specially to be in that, to be part of the relationship.
That's nice. So I'm gonna set up like for me plate and for my guest plate.
There you go.
And I'm gonna imagine that person is with me eating.
That's right. And feel that feeling, because your subconscious doesn't know it's not true. And they can, just because you can't actually see them physically sitting at the table, they could have gone to the loo.
Yeah.
They could be coming, that kind of thing. So
that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. So Cheryl, target. Oh, okay. Yes. So the targets. Thank you, Steve. Odille, what is the name of the supplement for boosting good feelings, the one you are testing now? So it is, I'll send you the link. In fact, okay, I'm going to put the link here, if I can find it, for whoever would like to check it out, because so we are waiting. Oh, it's in my same things. We are waiting right now for friends to test it. So Steve and I have been testing it, and we are very impressed with it. I'm thrilled. So far, my hot flashes have reduced dramatically, which I am over the moon about, because that, for me, that was, you know, that was the one thing that was bothering me mostly. So I'm putting the link here. Now, it is, so as I say, we are testing it ourselves, and it's good. We're experiencing results. We've sent it to 12 friends. We've sent samples to 12 friends for them to try it. They haven't received it in the post yet, so we don't know yet what it's going to have, you know, if they're going to have an effect, and if so, what. It is safe, but of course, if you're on medication or anything, check with your doctor, obviously, always. So the website I've given you there is our website. So full disclosure is that if you do get anything through it, we will receive a commission. So that's clear. But that is obviously not why we're recommending it. We want to make sure the reason we got into it is because we think it will help boost enough to be able to do what we do. Something else is that a supplement won't change your life. As much as it's nice to imagine it will, it won't. What it can do is give you enough of a boost for you to be able to do the work, to be able to change the memories, to be able to feel, to choose your focus and all of that. All right, so there it is for anyone who wants to try it out. You can order a sample to try it out and that kind of thing. I'll let you check the website and let me know if you've got any questions. Someone else says, for Boguslawa, with the 4-minute of Tabata program, and now I'm able to do 20 minutes workout every other day. Oh, I see. That's, yes, so you're sharing that. That's great. So 4 minutes of, I'm not sure what the Tabata program is, but you could probably Google that. So thank you for sharing that. That's lovely. I'm just making sure I haven't missed anything. I have missed a whole bunch up here. So, okay, that was that supplement. I love that, Odille. I'm not at the mercy of anything or anyone. Thank you, Cheryl. Yes, that's my main goal in life, is to not let anything outside of me affect me. So that's good. Love, affection, fun, very good. My mum and aunts constantly talked about dieting when I was very little. And when I addressed this and changed, I lost 90 pounds of their heavy energy and programming that I listened to. It was theirs and not mine. So interesting, this realization. Thank you, Lisa, for sharing that. Yes, absolutely. So that's a wonderful example. And in addition to that, I'm not sure how you change the memories, but for everybody else as well, you know, in addition to they're not talking about it and everything, of course, see them being whatever you want to be now. So they may be they're hiking, or they're doing, you know, aerobics, or you're playing a game or whatever, and they're eating healthily and whatever it is you want now. So thank you for sharing that, Lisa, and congratulations. So excited for you and so proud of you. Great example. Next, like a belief in a family that we always gain weight after childbirth or something. Exactly, yes. And I know Steve had something with acid reflux. You had a belief in your family. Was it your dad?
That was kind of, yeah, that was kind of what it, you know, was referring to, that we have.
Oh, that's, yeah.
A history. It had nothing to do with childbirth.
Right. Just like your father, you gained weight after childbirth. All right, and let's see what else. So sweet, Steve. Yes, we all deserve this type of relationship. Thank you guys for sharing. You're very welcome. And you know, honestly, if we could do it, anyone can, because we were not, you know, I was 50. How old was I? Well, it was, I think I was 52 or 53. I think I was 52. And we were both the same age, because I hadn't had my birthday or something like that. Anyway, we were in our 50s. So that's the main point, is that in our 50s and not dating. I wasn't looking for a relationship. I wasn't on any, website apps or websites for looking for a relationship. I was not actively looking for anybody. So it happened organically, naturally, and completely out of the blue. But it's the relationship that is the love of my life. So that's and I would never have imagined it possible. So hopefully that does give encouragement and hope. So cute, you do. Thank you. You're going to make me cry. What a beautiful power couple you are. Thank you. And the truth is, everybody can do it. We're exactly, we're all the same. It's just at different stages of development, and being able to get to the point where you're able to allow yourself to move forward and do the work. I still can't find the garden on Facebook. Okay, Tamina, I'm going to make a note, and I'm going to add you.
I put the link down there at the bottom.
Oh, you did. Thank you. Okay. Oh, yes. Thank you, Steve. All right. And I almost forgot.
Wait, Tamina?
I'm just checking it now, and I still can't find it.
Okay, not to worry. I'll add you to the I've made a note here, and I will add you to the group. All right.
Oh, can I quickly say, I met my partner the same technique.
Hey, very good. Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, but what the most fundamental thing I had to learn was to really let it go.
Yes.
You really have to release it, isn't it?
That's right. Yep. Because if you're looking, then you're blocking out where the real thing, the thing you're really looking for. And that goes for everything, not just relationships.
Yeah, exactly. Because I also asked him during those times that I used to sit alone in my home and wonder, where is he? He said he did the same thing.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
And our paths would, we were traveling on a parallel, because I'm originally from Yorkshire, and I moved down to Oxford. He was living out in Windsor, and then he came and grew up in Oxford. And I would keep sensing that he's down in Dorchester. So by the time I drove in Dorchester, he'd finished work, because he was working in Dorchester. He'd gone home, so it wasn't the right time.
Yes. Perfect. That's brilliant. No. That really is brilliant. And before I forget, I almost forgot to read out this email sent for everybody from Christina. She says, my message to all, you dear people, I am a daily follower and feel close to you and your stories. Most recently, Kathy and her boundaries, Katrina and how you look and school friend memories, Boguslawa, how to believe rewriting childhood stories and keeping cheerful, such a helpful lady, and P.S. You look so much happier, and may I say younger, in recent episodes. Cheryl, concern about taking up time and making yourself vulnerable. Carrie's restless legs. Wonder's negativity loops, they all resonate with me. Tammy, I've become somebody who isn't me. Family relationships and responsibility, and Amy, Cara, and everyone present near and far. I sent you all my unconditional love at 6:30 a.m. UK summertime yesterday morning, Wednesday, and I send it again now with this email at 3:08 p.m. Thursday, 29th of April. My youngest granddaughter is just down for an afternoon nap. And then she'd sent a couple of photos, which I forwarded to Cheryl for the collage. With great gratitude, love, and thanks, Chris. So there you go. So I wanted to share that message with all of you. It did arrive yesterday, but I only got it after the session. All right. So let's do the aiming. So take a deep breath, close your eyes, and go into your superpower state. Either by using your word or phrase, or by doing the exercise. And feel your heart expanding. Feel that opening of your heart and that beautiful light or energy shining out from you. And now allow it to fill your whole body, down to your toes, up to your top of your head and out to your fingertips, so you're full of that beautiful light, that energy, that love. And now fill each of the cells of your body with that same light or energy. Love each cell just for existing. And now think of the little you, fill that little you with love, that light, that energy. Allow that light or energy to overflow from that little you and fill your childhood. Fill your whole childhood with that beautiful light, that energy, that love. Love it all. And now think of your subject filled with that light or energy, and allow that light or energy to overflow from them and fill the room. And then imagine they don't want to be with you, or they're miserable or whatever, and keep them filled with that same light, that energy, that love. Love them anyway. Very good. Now let's go to Katrina. Fill Katrina with that light or energy from the tips of her toes to the top of her head and out to her fingertips. Love Katrina just for existing. Very good. And now to Caro. Fill Caro with that same light, that energy. From the tips of her toes to the top of her head, out to her fingertips. Love Caro just for existing. Now I want you to think of the fact that Caro needs to move, and that she doesn't have a plan yet, and love the whole of that. Fill all of that with that light, that energy, that love. Love it all anyway, no matter what happens. And now think of Caro in August, once the move is done, and fill that version of Caro with that same light, that energy, that love. Everything worked out perfectly, and even if it didn't, love it all anyway. Fill everything with that light, that energy, that love. We can only create good for ourselves now that we know we love ourselves. So no matter what happens, it has to turn out either good or nothing to worry about. Very, very good. All right, and now let's go over to Tamina. Fill Tamina with that same light, that energy, that love. From the tips of her toes to the top of her head and out to her fingertips. Love Tamina just for existing. Very good. And now to Boguslawa. Fill Boguslawa with that light, that energy, that love from the tips of her toes to the top of her head and out to her fingertips. Love Boguslawa just for existing. And now fill Boguslawa's lack of motivation to exercise with that same light, that energy. Love it all anyway. Love Boguslawa anyway, whether she exercises or not. Perfect exactly as she is. And now think of Boguslawa exercising and fill that version of her with that same light, that energy, that love. and a little bit of Tina Turner. Love it all anyway. Very, very good. And now let's go to the one that asked about the food and emotional eating, and fill that person with love, light and energy from the tips of her toes to the top of her head, out to her fingertips. Love her just for existing. And now think about the food and the emotional eating, the carbs, and whatever's there, and fill it all with light and energy. Love it all anyway. Love all the food anyway, whether you eat it or not, whether it has an effect on you or not. Love it all anyway. Fill your whole body with that light, that energy, that love. Love it all anyway. Very good. Now let's go to Cheryl. Fill Cheryl with that same light, that energy, that love. From the tips of her toes to the top of her head and out to her fingertips. Love Cheryl just for existing. And now think of Cheryl's husband and love him anyway, from the tips of his toes to the top of his head and out to his fingertips, and everything surrounding his passing. And love it all anyway. Fill all of that with light and love. And into Cheryl's childhood, fill Cheryl's childhood with that light, that energy, that love. Whatever those references are for the experiences she's having now with the loss, love it all anyway. And now into the future, see the future Cheryl feeling healed and full of love and light and appreciation. And surround her with the energetic hazmat suit. Very good. And now to Lisa. Fill Lisa with that light, that energy from the tips of her toes to the top of her head and out to her fingertips. Love Lisa just for existing. Very good. And now see that light or energy overflowing from Lisa and filling the whole room she's in. And now see it filling her son with that same light, that energy, that love. Love Lisa's son just for existing. Very good. And now allow that light or energy to fill each of the people who are off camera, incognito. Fill them from the tips of their toes to the top of their head and out to their fingertips. Love each one just for existing. And fast forward to later today. Imagine yourself later today and fill that version of you with light and energy. Love that version of you, no matter what, exactly as you are. This is your power. And now fill whoever's watching this recording with that same light, that energy, that love. Love them just for existing. Very, very good. And you can open your eyes. And how's everyone doing? Good. Very good. Good job. And I want to read this out for Christina when she's watching the recording. Cheryl says, if you're looking, you're just, oh, sorry, that was before. So Cheryl says, that's beautiful, Christina. There we go. So if you're looking, you're just looking, haven't found anyone. Yes, very good point, Cheryl. So if you're looking, that just creates more of looking. You want to focus on having found what you want. Good point. Thank you very much. Okay, everyone, it was lovely spending time with you again. Have a wonderful weekend. And of course, over the weekend, be sure to practice. Keep practicing, keep building it, send it to each other and all that. Lots of love to all of you. See you on Monday.
Odille, do we need to say anything about registration or anything for next week?
Yes, so I will, when we put up the recording of this video, I will change the links on that page for you to book for next week as well. All right, Cara?
I haven't been getting the emails. I mean, I have this link anyway, but yeah.
Okay, so what it is I'm not sending emails to people who are registered in the original ones, just because people who've registered for each one will then get email after email. They'll get repeated emails. So that's why. So I only send emails to the people who were registered for this week, but the registration link is on the resources page where we post these videos.
Okay.
Okay, so when you go to that page to watch the video, the link is there, and just click that to register for the next week, and then you'll get the reminder emails.
Okay.
All right, very good. And was there another question? I thought I saw someone lift their hand. No? All right, then you have a wonderful weekend. Lots of love to all of you. Bye-bye now.